Günaydın. Hoş geldiniz. Adım Kulpreet ve burada olmaktan mutluyum. Hang on. 25 sene önce İstanbul'da yaşadım. Öğrendiğim Türkçe kelimeleri hatırlamaya çalışıyorum. Şimdi izninizle İngilizce geçeceğim konuşmanın devamı için. That's it. Those are the few Turkish words I still remember from 25 years ago. So thank you for being here. I want to spend the next 10-15 minutes giving you a little bit of an overview on robotic process automation, or RPA, and why it's becoming a major disruptive force in digital transformation. My sense is, and I couldn't really understand most of the presentation which was there beforehand, but looking at the visuals, my sense was Akbank was talking about the digital transformation which they're doing, not only on the customer side, but also possibly throughout their whole organization. RPA is a significant component of ensuring that digital transformation actually achieves its benefits. So what's it all about? If I can get this to work. So first is, what RPA does is basically it's a piece of software and it mimics human actions. Anything that a human worker does in terms of managing a process, opening an application, checking for some entries, copying, pasting, investigating data, RPA is a piece of software which completely follows those instructions end to end. How it does is basically it either interacts with all the underlying applications through APIs or what we call the user interface. The benefit it provides is that it's completely non-invasive and non-intrusive. So as an organization, you may have a variety of applications which range from mainframes, CRM systems, billing systems, Excel macros, as well as the leading-edge web-based digital systems which are coming in. UiPath sits as a layer on top of it. It doesn't need any hard interfaces, which means as you change, replace, and add to your application suite, UiPath can work seamlessly with anything. So gone are the days when anytime you would bring in a new application, new source of data, you would have to request your IT function to create a hard interface, worry all about the data dictionary, data migration, and 5 years down the road still be scratching your head whether it actually worked or not. It completely takes away those requirements. Now, because it's a piece of software, it's a virtual worker. It can work 24/7. It will follow the instructions exactly you want it to be, so you get 100% quality compliance. Each and every transaction is auditable. So if you happen to be in financial services, telcos, wherein there are regulators who can come in and ask you to check something, you can show it to them and not depend on 5 to 10% quality compliance samples. It's absolutely flexible and scalable. So if you launch a new product and your volumes spike up, guess what? You just need to provision a few more licenses or allocate additional licenses, and the work carries on. So what it offers to both IT and business is this happy medium that, one, you get in a piece of software that doesn't mess around with your applications. It's completely secure. Data sits within your own environment, doesn't go out. It can be hosted on-prem. It can be hosted on cloud. So it takes care of all the IT and risk requirements which are there. And from a business side, you finally get ability to go up and down as per your business requirements. You get 100% quality compliance, and you get it at a fraction of the cost, which therefore releases capacity which you can use for your human workforce to actually get involved in either customer experience tasks or more value-added creative tasks. So these are some of the benefits that RPA provides. And as you look at it on a financial business case, it typically pays back within the year. So it's self-funding. The ROI is 6x to 10x of the investment you put in. So that's not too bad for the CFOs. Processes become more stable, more structured, and those are followed. So what it says on the process map in your documentation is exactly how it's actually done. The customer experience is a lot better because you finally have an opportunity to improve your first-time call resolution, customer resolutions. Rather than splitting the process across front office, back office, middle office, and things falling through the cracks, average handling times and turnaround times increasing, this gives you the opportunity to relook at a process from a customer journey perspective and get it resolved there and then. It eliminates repeat work, service delivery, you name it. It is something what it delivers what it says on the tin. So last year, Forrester, which is one of the leading analyst firms, went out and spoke to a lot of enterprise organizations saying, hey, what is your selection criteria when you're looking at RPA platforms? And the interesting thing is, the three biggest ones comes from an operations side. Is no operations leader wants to lose control. They want to know what is exactly happening in their process. How many transactions are going through? What's not working? What's the average handling time? What's the turnaround time? So this is a business tool over and above anything else. The second one, which is the whole theme, is you can have a tool which works brilliantly in a small process, in a small location. That's great. But it's really not going to deliver the benefits if you can't scale it up to your entire enterprise. The key in realizing value from RPA is to have a vision of saying, at a stage in time, which may be 2 years or 3 years down the road, in my organization, I'm going to have 3,000 human workers and 2,000 digital workers. And if I have digital workers, how do I manage them? How do I know what they're doing? How do I allocate work to them? How do I get the information back on the KPIs which are coming through? So that's the whole scalability part across an enterprise, across multiple functions, across multiple geographies, in a multi-tenanted, secure environment. And the third one was this whole thing about AI. I guess during the day today, you'll hear a lot about what's happening in AI. The thing is, AI means multiple things to multiple people. To some, AI is smart OCR. To some, it's natural language processing. To some, it's Alexa, where you can talk to it and it will answer back. Then you have other elements which are IBM Watson or the Microsoft Cognitive Services. So the whole AI landscape is quite wide, varied, and dare I say, a bit gray and misty because there's lots out there, but what it delivers, what it can deliver in the future, what it means for your business processes, what it means for your architecture is a little bit still undecided. But clients want to know what is the AI roadmap of RPA providers because at one stage, sometime in the future, they see it coming together. So how have we taken that into account? For us, there are 5 priorities. That's what we focus on a daily basis. The first is scale. It goes back to how do you get RPA to be an enterprise-wide deployment? How do you ensure that when you look at a customer process, it will have different touch points? There will be human touch points. There may be chatbots in there. There's going to be robots in there. So how do you manage the transaction as it flows through and touches all these different interactions and you still manage to get that complete visibility on an enterprise-wide level? The second is security. I have yet to come across any organization of a decent size, wherein a C-suite stakeholder says, you know what, I'm happy to take a 40% cost reduction, and along with that, I'm happy to take a 5% risk that my data security may get compromised. No C-suite stakeholder is willing to accept any proposition, any solution, if it has even the slightest risk of compromising data security. To us, that is absolutely non-negotiable. So again, when you're doing enterprise-wide deployments, how do you make sure that security at any level is never compromised? It's not even security in terms of data leakage. It's also in terms of the people who are doing the processes or the bots who are doing the processes. They only get access to the data and the applications that is suitable to them. So the whole multi-tenancy securitization comes into play. The third is path to AI. One of the things we are very open about is that there is no single organization which can address all aspects of AI as well as RPA. The number of use cases, the requirements over industries and geographies are so wide and vast that one organization can never really develop those different capabilities across different areas to satisfy it. And the reality is, when clients start choosing their AI applications, they're not going to make the same choices. They will have different choices that they make. Some of them may pick up something from a third-party system. Some of them may develop their own applications. So our view is, to us, AI is like the brain. It will do certain tasks very well. So if you have a chatbot, it will do that customer interaction, figure out what a customer wants, do the security details and everything very well. Brilliant. If you have a natural language processing tool, that's what it will do. It will figure out the sentiment analysis and what is being asked for. But once they have done their job, something has to take the output and actually finish or carry the transaction. That's where UiPath comes in. So to us, AI is the brain and UiPath is the spine, which picks up the signals from the brain and then executes it. It sends it out. It sends it to a human worker. It sends it to another bot. It sends it to another AI application. Again, picks the output, carries it forward. So if you think of it on a business process, UiPath is the glue which holds everything together. It actually enables AI to be operationalized, because AI on its own will do one part of the activity and that's it, and then somebody else still has to pick it up. So for us, we want to enable AI. We want clients to be in a position that when they invest in AI, they're able to get benefits from it. And that's where UiPath will come in. The fourth is the ease of use. This has to become all-pervasive, something like what all of us use Excel today. 95% of us really can make use of Excel by doing the formulas and charts. 5% of us can do magic with Excel. That's where you want to take UiPath. And it sits on everybody's desktop. We all automate our normal mundane tasks, and there's a specialist team sitting somewhere in the background which really creates corporate-wide automations which are deployed across the organization. And the last one is ecosystem, which I'll just talk to you about. So very quickly, on the AI opportunity, where we are trying to move from is a very machine-like software, which is the state today, to a human-like software, wherein it can reason, it can figure out what the process is all about, it has elements of self-healing built in, it can understand the exceptions, and create scenarios to manage those exceptions. So that to us is the path to AI. And on the ecosystem, what you'll see is we've got UiPath in the center. and you've got all the various tools, technologies working around it. And our view is simple. We want to make sure that whichever technology you choose from each of those buckets, UiPath will enable that and work with it. So it's an open platform approach that we have, that we are working on. I'm just going to give you a very quick case study. This is for an insurance company in South Africa. And they were getting about 1.5 million emails, which were growing 30% year on year. Now, these were really time-critical emails from brokers, had to be acted upon. The challenge was, if the volume was going to increase 30%, do they put 30% more FTEs and increase the cost, which is a big issue, or they look for another solution? What they did was they brought around AI and RPA together. So they have IBM Watson, they have Microsoft Cognitive Services, they have Abby for the OCR, and UiPath as the glue which brings it all together. And these are some of the benefits that they have derived. So not only are they saving lots of man-hours on the increased volumes, but the time it takes to transaction has literally become 10% of what it was before. The resolution rate is a staggering 98%. So of every 100 emails that come in, 98 go through. Only 2 emails of every 100 have to be sent to a human being to resolve. So this is a live one, and this is where our clients are moving to. I'm going to stop here, but my suggestion is for us to continue the conversation, please, obviously, go onto our website. We have a community version. We have a free trial version available for any organization. Try it. Get yourself trained and certified on our academy, which is online and absolutely free of cost. You can do it at your time and your leisure whenever you want to do it. If you want to reach out to us, please do that. We're more than happy to schedule a demo and show you how it actually works, and then get started. So thank you for your time. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Kulpreet. I just have 2 short questions. So, I mean, when organizations start applying RPA in their business, they are definitely going to look at the space, and there are some big players in the space. Like for example, Blue Prism, WorkFusion, and so on. So, how does UiPath really differentiate itself compared to the competition?
Thank you. It's a simple one. Our roots are in engineering, product design, software. That's how we started. Most of our investment goes into product R&D. And the vision that we have, which I put up there, which was the ecosystem of an open platform, of enabling AI, of giving clients the flexibility to make their own decisions on the platforms and the applications they want to choose, is our single largest differentiator. Our competitors are trying to be a black box, everything in one. We just don't think that's the way it will work. The market and the clients will demand that flexibility. To us, that's what we're going to offer.
That's very clear. And you guys recently raised about $150 million.
That's true.
With a unicorn valuation. So, I mean, that's of course a large valuation, and there are other companies in the space with unicorn valuations. So, how big is the opportunity? How come these huge valuations are justified? Can you give us an idea?
So this is the scary thing for us. We're a 700 people organization only. Last year, this time, we were less than 100 people. We grew by over 800% in 2017. And we'll try and grow something close to that number again in 2018. What the analysts, what the clients, and what the partners are telling us is simple. First of all, there is the opportunity to automate the routine tasks. And if you look at the number of people or the organizations which are involved in shared services, in back office, whether it's in Turkey, in Eastern Europe, in India, in Philippines, in Latin America, the numbers run into millions. So a lot of those tasks are in the purview of automation. That's the here and now. But I think what the investors are really looking at is saying, here is RPA. We can actually make AI a reality. So all the hype and the buzz that you have on AI, where people are looking and saying, hey, NLP or chatbots and all of that, to make that a reality and make it enterprise-wide adoption, you will need RPA. And I think that's what the investors are looking at and saying, aha, that's a completely untapped market. It's going to release more and more new use cases which we can't even imagine. And it could be, the dream which Bill Gates had back when he started Windows, of to putting a PC on each and everybody's desk. At that time, who thought that would be possible? There was no business case for it. But where we are today, we're thinking each and every desktop, laptop will have UiPath on it. When you take that into account, God knows what the limits are. So let's see how it plays out.
And I think the Excel analogy is also quite spot on. I mean, it's a huge value. It's in every laptop, every desktop.
That's the whole thing. That's
Thing
where you want to get to. That's where the ease of use is so critical for us.
Yeah, definitely. Clear.
Brilliant.
So thank you
Thanks,
very
Shyam.
much indeed.
Thank you.
Have a great day.